Welcome to this episode of the Dan Adams Outdoor Show. Tonight we're going to talk about safety, preparation, technology, stupidity, and on that note, maybe we'll blow some things up. About to find out. So to start today, I wanted to talk about, there was an article that appeared on the New York Times website titled, "Technology Leads More Park Visitors into Trouble." The essentials of this article, and you can definitely Google it if you like, are that a lot of people get stupid with their technology and think it's going to save them. Show up to a national park with a GPS and say, about to find out. They don't bring food, they don't bring all the other essentials, water, first aid, yada yada yada. Just show up with their GPS and think things are going to turn out alright. And it gets better to improve the situation, being equipped with beacons and things like that, but ill-equipped for preparing for the trials of the wilderness on their own. They summon rescue helicopters asking for refreshments and water and things like this. There's one story in particular that I want to mention, and I'll try not to be too drab about it. Last fall, two men and teenage sons pressed the help button on a device that was probably a spot beacon or something like that. These spot beacons run about $100, and they're about $100 a year for service. And basically, the most basic units only have a emergency button on them. They don't give a lot of options as far as sending another message. It's just emergency, or there's some text message options on there as well. Pretty cool technology, but as you can see here, as we'll talk about, a gross waste potentially. So at any rate, they pressed the button. They were hiking in challenging backcountry in the Grand Canyon. Search and rescue helicopter. They declined to get on board, saying they had activated the device because they were short on water. Are you kidding me? According to this article, the helicopter can cost as much as $3,400 an hour. $3,400 an hour. That's taxpayer money, and these guys wasted that because they were short on water. It gets better. The next day, they pressed the device again. Darkness prevented the helicopter from flying in, but the Arizona Department of Public Safety sent in a helicopter's crew could use night vision equipment. I'm sure that wasn't any cheaper. The hikers were found and again refused rescue. They said that they'd been afraid of dehydration because the local water tasted salty, and they were provided with water. Are you freaking kidding me? So I've prepared the top 10 things as far as preparation and outdoor safety. A couple of basics here, and I'm just going to run through that list real quick of a few of the things that I've prepared and tell you a little bit about my trip this weekend. So I've got item number 1, pocket knife. I actually prefer to carry these razor jobs. They're kind of nice. You can have a real sharp blade right off the bat. Makes it real easy. Item number 2, a med kit or first aid kit. I carry moleskin here, scissors, band-aids, antiseptics, those types of things. Simple. Doesn't need to be a whole lot. Extra clothing, item number 3. In case you get all wet, extra socks are an essential. Item number 4, rain gear. This is my backpack cover to keep my pack dry in the event of rain, and my raincoat, keep myself dry in the event of rain. Flashlight. Spare batteries are probably a good idea. Trail food. Fairly simple. Something easy to prepare. Water, the ability to get more water. Pure water. A good set of diarrhea will probably set you back quite a bit. Item number 7, matches, fire. This is a striker kit and a tinder kit. I usually just use the lighter, but in the event that it's raining real bad, this stuff really helps to get small stuff started. Sun protection. Now, mosquito bites and that, they can be dealt with, but if you get a real solid sunburn and start to blister, you may find yourself in some pretty serious trouble and not able to move. And last but not least, I guess that was 8, 9, 10, maps. I do rely primarily upon my GPS, but in the event I get a screen break, run out of batteries, who knows what, I don't want to be high and dry. So I've got the backup map here as well. This weekend I'm heading into the high uintas. I'm guessing about 40-mile loop. I'm going to start here at the China Meadows trailhead and proceed south down into the Smith Fork drainage by way of Red Castle Lake and Lower Red Castle, Upper Red Castle, East Red Castle. This is the Red Castle here. That's a lot of castles. Down the trail this way, the fork comes over Smith Fork Pass, come into the south side, and then back up over Anderson Pass, and that'll take me up into Painter Basin, where I'll ascend to the top of Kings Peak, the highest peak in Utah, at 13,528 feet. From here, I'll come back through Gunsight Pass and down through Henry's Fork, going past some. These are both really high traffic drainages here. Island Lake, Grass Lake, Barron Sawmill, up over the pass to Lake Hesse, and then back to my car at China Meadows in 4 days. So it is a bit of a walk, but hopefully with a little bit of preparation we'll get it done. So these 10 items that we've talked about being mentioned, what the crap is all the rest of this stuff for? Well, I suppose I'd like to travel a little bit more than just the bare essentials, as I'd like to enjoy myself, have a little bit of fun. So I'm actually going to run through the rest of this gear and talk about it real briefly, and then we'll see if we can all make it fit in that pretty little red pack over there. Gear, gear, gear. I am a gearaholic. Love gear. I could buy gear and just have gear just to have it and not ever use it and still love having it. But, like for me, get a chance to use it this weekend. Pretty stoked for that. So let's run through some of this stuff. Kind of one-handing it. I've got my kitchen set up over here, starting with the Brunton Ultralight stove. So you can see the fuel cans there, and my stove here. Those 4 little wings just fold out all the way around. This thing is slick as can be. Boils water real quick and makes a jiff. Also got various spices, cup, a little bit of sugar in there in case we need it. My boiling pan. I can boil water over the fire, but it is faster and more efficient over the stove. A little bit of soap in case I'm feeling squeaky clean, which probably not. My luxurious flatware. As you can see, this is a high dollar business over here. Couple of spare paper plates. This is actually an idea that I got off a do-it-yourself outdoor website for cooking my trout over the fire, as I do try to supplement my diet with trout as much as possible. Maybe save a little weight on food that way. Got my great value granola bars, dried fruit, mixed berries, some apricots there. Oatmeal. My other meals include, and this is way more food than I need, and I'll probably not take it all. But these Mountain House meals are good, and yeah, well, I'll probably eat that in one setting. Let's not be shy or joke around about it. A little raspberry crumble, little potatoes and cheese with broccoli, Jamaican style chicken and rice, and a beef stew. Each of these is supposed to serve 2, but yeah, like I said, I usually eat it in one shot. And then some good turkey jerky. I like the turkey jerky just because it's a little bit more tender, and well, you know, whatever. Toiletries, biodegradable toilet paper, bum fodder, as the case may be, a little toothbrush in case I need to freshen up for Bigfoot's wife, and then you never know when you may need a good set of toenail clippers. Extra clothes, washcloth in there, a couple of extra t-shirts, pants, insulated bottoms, underwear for every day for sure, and socks for every day, but everything else you can usually wear for a day or 2. Water bottles, mosquito repellent, 100% DEET, and this is Ultrathon. I prefer not to use the Ultrathon just because I don't like to get it all over my hands, but you know, just kind of a backup, and it's lightweight. As I mentioned, I am just a tool guy to beat the cars. This saw and this hatchet are probably excess weight that I can do without, but I just love the possibilities that they bring. This Gerber hatchet is the cat's meow. This thing is lighter, really light, really easy to carry, and it packs a punch. I've chopped down some trees bigger than I probably should have with that thing. Got my Marbs. Marb shoots straight, rocks don't. And my flipper crutch. I've been carrying a flipper crutch for longer than I'd like to admit, probably since I was 8. That's coming up on 20 years. A little extra nylon cord. This is really lightweight, not much to it. Gloves, in case it gets cold, or I need to pick up something hot. And fishing stuff. Any weight we save on food, we take up by fishing stuff. Various lures and flies. Nothing too impressive here. I got my Shimano Sienna fishing reel. I love this thing. I've used several cheapies over the years. I paid about $30 is all for this at Sportsman's Warehouse, and I have just been impressed. It casts better. Wow. More on that later. My fishing rod inside the homemade travel tube there. We'll probably not leave that behind. It is a little bit of extra weight, but it's all good. Talk about bedding. Here's my pillow. Doubles as a pump. Pretty cool little unit. My thermarest trail light upside down, but oh, how about that? This thermarest is really nice. Good insulation, packs up light and tight. And when coupled with my Big Agnes sleeping bag, the Big Agnes has a sleeve in the back of it for the air mattress to slip down inside of, so there's actually no insulation on the underside and just insulation on the top and the sides. And that way you save the weight of the wasted insulation that you're just going to pack out whilst you're sleeping. And you don't slip off your air mattress in the night. I've got a one-man tent here. It's a Eureka Soloist, or I don't remember what it's called. And then a couple of new items over there. The smaller pouch in the center there is a lightweight hammock, and then that there's a rain fly. I figure in the event that it rains for a couple of days, I'd like to not be confined to the one-man tent, as it's only about 18 inches tall. So the rain fly. And then probably the most non-essential piece of equipment here, the Beretta PX4 Storm 9mm. You know, I'm never quite sure why I justify this 1.5 pounds of plastic and metal, but maybe it just makes me feel safe. I really like this gun a lot, and it's the only subcompact I've got, so it's the lightest pistol I have. So now that we've talked about all that business, let's see if we can make her fit in that pretty little red pack over there. One new piece of gear I did want to outline that I'm pretty proud of. I made this thing specifically to hold our camera here. Our camera is a HD shooting cell phone, I will admit. Shoots 720p. Pretty sweet cell phone, but anyway, what I've done is taken an old Petzl headlamp and cut the rim of the light off and attached a car mount for a cell phone here. A Sony Ericsson cell phone, no less. And that, of course, is the type of cell phone we're using to film this whole bit. Sony Ericsson Vivas. And then, of course, I've added the little mount in there so we can stick around a tripod, too. I'm pretty stoked about this thing. I'm a pretty fart smeller. Smart feller. Ha!
Into the woods with a pack and blade, a cigar tin, retractable spade, flint and steel, a pine needle bed. There ain't nothing like the woods to clear your head. I got a real nice piece with the handle of bone, a good friend to have when you're out on your own. But you don't miss twice when you're shaving with a knife. Grain sandpaper on my face, up my neck and reach for my blade. Gonna try my hand at the barber's trade. When you've got a knife, you got it made. Bathing in the river, it ain't half bad. You get a cool drink while you take your bath. You stick your blade in the water, and there's your lather, yeah. But you don't miss twice when you're shaving with a knife. Stubble's coming in strong, stretch your soft skin raw like a mean mud with a razor maw. Swipe along my neck and against my jaw.
Well, what happens is so much pressure builds up inside the can. Put the can all the way in the fire,
Sure.
then it just melts the lid and it just goes. Pretty lame. But if you leave the can halfway out so the nozzle is still out of the flame, that's what happens. That was good. That was a decent one.
Blood's just blood, no need to fuss. I got your shorts in a bunch, cuss and cuss. But still you don't miss twice when you're shaving with a knife.